Hey everyone, Mr. MCA here. This is a lap guide for Deep Forest in reverse with the Group 3 cars, and for this video I'll be using the Suzuki VGT. It's a really fast car down the straights, but it is a little tricky to drive because first of all, you need to shift when the bar is halfway full, and second of all, when you're going through the turns, you have to play around with the gearing to force the car to whip around the turns and then exit out of higher gears. So as you saw right now, I went down to first gear for the hairpin, but exited on third gear. This car does have 7 gears, but I will not be using the 7th gear for the time trial. So let's go ahead and get started with the lap guide. So when you're starting a new lap, you can go a little wide into the final turn. That way you can set yourself up for a faster exit out of the final turn to give yourself a faster start to a new lap. So again, shift when the bar is halfway full, bringing yourself towards the right side of the track, going flat out, get really close to the wall on the right. Then you're going to look for this bollard that is on the right. That's your cue to start to turn in and ease off our throttle. So turn in towards the left, trying to stay towards the left, and you're braking before you reach the 100-meter board that is on the left. Full braking power, turning in before the curb on the left ends, going into first gear to have the car whip around the hairpin, as this car is a bit of an understeer boy, but then shift up to third gear and get on the throttle as soon as you can. There is a bit of turbo lag, so you do have a bit of time to try to get the car straightened up before the turbo kicks in. And again, shifting when the bar is halfway full. I don't use 7th gear in the time trial, but you want to brake just before you reach the curb that is on the left. Full braking power, turning in when the curb on the left ends. Go down to 2nd gear for a bit more rotation. You can even let the car coast for a moment, so no braking, no throttle input. The car will turn in a bit more, but exit on 4th gear and get on the throttle as soon as you can. Then turn in with the curb on the left ends, and you want to do a little bit of throttle control, so just lifting off our throttle so the car can turn in a bit more. Make use of the red and white curves as they are still within the track limits. A little more lifting off our throttle as you make this right turn. Brake before the tunnel starts, and you're turning in before the tunnel ends. Go down to 3rd gear for a bit more rotation, but exit on 4th gear and be careful getting under throttle as the car can step out on this left turn. Then brake before the tunnel ends. Go down to 3rd gear for a short moment to get a bit more rotation. Exit on 4th gear, but then once you hit the apex of this right turn, you want to go up to 5th gear. And you want to be careful with your throttle input, especially as you go over this curb that is on the left. So doing a little bit of throttle control to keep the car nice and stable. Finally, you're braking just after this barrier on the left starts before the 50-meter board. So full braking power. You can go down to 2nd gear for a bit more rotation, but exit on 4th gear. Try to aim for a late apex as you want to get the car straightened up as soon as you can before the turbo kicks in. So in a moment we'll finish up this lap and then we'll go through it again, but I will not stop the video. Alright, so here we go, starting the new lap. Again, shift when the bar is halfway full. In the time trial, I don't use the 7th gear. Looking for the bollard that is on the right, as that's my cue to turn in and do a little lifting off our throttle and brake before the 100-meter board. Playing around with the gearing quite a bit on the Suzuki VGT to force this car to turn in a lot more. It's a bit of an understeer car. And still shifting when the bar is halfway full. Then look for the start of the curb that is on the left as you want to brake right before it starts. Going down to 2nd gear to force the car to turn in more, but exit on 4th gear and just be nice and careful getting under throttle. A little bit of throttle control as you go through these consecutive turns to make sure that the car turns in a bit more. Brake before the tunnel starts. 3rd gear for more rotation, 4th gear as you exit. Same thing goes with this turn, except you're braking before the tunnel ends. shifting up to 5th gear and then doing a lot of throttle control to try to keep this car nice and balanced as you go through the last couple of turns. Braking before the 50-meter board, and you can go a little deep if you want to try to get a late apex, but do exit on 4th gear and get on the throttle as soon as you can. There we go. So that's going to be it for this lap guide, getting a 124.3. Let's see how this lap time holds up, as didn't have much time to get this lap done. But anyways, before I go, I do want to give you guys a quick thank you for the support recently, especially with the lap time challenge tuning video, as that one's getting a lot of love, and reading all the feedback, both the positive and the more critical ones, as I'm trying to get better with tuning. But again, just want to give you guys a quick thank you for the feedback with the build that I made and the video. But that's going to be it for me. Take care, everyone. Have a good week. This is Mr. MCA, and I'll see you in the next video.